speaking of excavators, like that's one thing that I think our most tenured operators are very proud to be in.
That's their workspace, man. They know those hydraulics. And I mean, there's guys out there, open a can with one. Reach out there with that bucket and snap it open. And it's because they get so used to the controls. And frankly, that's what you want. You want to take good care of that guy. You need a guy because that is going to be a safe dude. He knows exactly what goes on with it, right?
They make a big impact out on the field. Hey Justin, welcome to Too Big to Fail, and we'll get started a little bit on your impact here at Moss. Where did you grow up?
I grew up in Houston.
Houston?
I was born in Lawton, Oklahoma, and then moved to Houston when I was maybe 5th or 6th grade.
So majority of life has been here in Texas.
Been in Texas, yeah.
Yeah. You like Texas?
I do. I like it very much.
Yeah. You still have family back in Oklahoma, or?
I got a uncle left up there. But other than that, no, everybody's gone, moved away, did something. Yeah.
What was your first gig in the construction industry? Or
my first gig was, I've only had one gig in the construction industry, and that was right before this one.
Yeah.
I worked for a different company that most of what I dealt with was overhead utilities and the fleet side. Yeah.
Yeah. And when you say fleet side, like it's like the trucks that they drive, or is it the heavy equipment, or?
A little bit of everything.
A little bit of everything.
Most over there was bucket trucks and digger trucks, you know.
Yeah.
Digger trucks got a claw on it and a big auger, and they dig the hole that you see the light poles in, and then the bucket trucks, obviously, you know, they got the bucket and go up and work on the power lines.
So you've only been in the construction industry for a short period of time.
Yeah, we're talking 9 years now, I guess. Because I was there for 8 years. So,
8 years?
Yeah. I worked my way all the way up. I started out as a dispatch assistant, and then they needed somebody to run a yard in Beaumont. And I actually think I was like the third choice.
Yeah.
But then when nobody else wanted to drive from Houston to Beaumont every day, I already lived in Baytown, was like, oh, well, that's not that bad. You know, 45 minutes, drive 45 minutes to this gig, you know. So I was like, all right, I'll do that. So I took over a yard, got my first yard, and then I was there for maybe a year and a half. And two yards opened up where they needed a manager, you know, to be over the 2 yards. So, guy before me just drug up randomly, and they said, well, you want it? And I said, heck yeah, I want it. So I went. Yeah.
What was your first impression on like working for a construction company? Was it like kind of what you anticipated?
Yeah, you know, being a veteran, what I find is like the operation guys, very similar. You know, like guys are serious about what they do and good at what they do, but there's a certain, I don't want this to come across the wrong way, but like goofy childness to the way they conduct themselves. However they execute, you know, they have a good time while they're working hard. And I think that's a place where the military and the construction industry cross.
Yeah. Well, how old were you when you first got into the military?
I was, you know what, for a guy at boot camp, I was old. I think I was 22.
22?
Yeah, I mean, but boy, I tell you what, I felt old. I remember we were taking a flight from Fort Benning, Georgia. They put us on a civilian flight. We were all reporting to Fort Drum, New York. So we're flying to New York, and I'm sitting there, and all these other privates that are like 18, 19 years old are sitting around me. And one of them goes, hey, man, you know, you ever been up to New York? And I was like, I mean, the states up there are real small, so we must not be that far from the city, you know?
I would have been like, does it sound like I've been to New York?
Yeah, but no, yeah, it'd been a good take. I sound like I've been in New York, boy. But, you know, I mean, I was the old wise one at 22 years old or whatever it was. So I was like, oh, yeah, man, states up there are real small. It can't be that far from New York City. It's a 7-hour drive.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were pretty good ways.
Yeah. So you got into the military. What branch did you start off in?
I was in the Army.
In the Army?
Yeah.
The entire time?
Oh, yeah. My biological father was in the Army. My little brother's still in the Army.
Okay.
I think he retires in about a year.
Yeah.
Almost all of my family's been Army. So it was a no-brainer. You meet guys that are like that. They're just generational. Yeah. I think we had a grandpa that was in the Navy in World War II.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So you were in the Army for how long?
12 years.
12 years.
Yeah, just short of 12 years, I think. Yeah.
Wow, that's a long time. That's a whole lifestyle there. Man.
Yeah.
What was your transition from going to the Army to like coming back home? Like, where'd you start off working, or had you know?
I worked for a freight company. was a union company, which was a hard transition from being military and coming out as a staff sergeant and going straight into like being in a union environment where everybody's resistant to anything management says, you know? So,
Yeah.
so I worked there for a few years and then went on to another dispatching gig. Went to school at Sam Houston, and you know, just wasn't real happy in any of those jobs in the trucking industry. And so, you know, I kind of moved around and looked for something that I was excited to do. And you know, once I got started in the construction industry, I kind of knew
Where you want it
that's
to
my
be.
niche. Yeah, that's what I want to do.
I feel like that tends to be a very, very common theme of the construction industry. Is kind of not what people expect it to be,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because it's just, I mean, I think I've said this over and over again, but it's kind of has it's portrayed a certain way being
Mm-hmm.
in the construction industry, right? You talk to, you know, this office employee, right, at this corporation, and they talk about construction, and all they think about is dirt and a shovel,
Mm-hmm.
right? They don't understand all the important aspects that come into play when it, you know, deals with a construction company like fleet, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I think people gravitate a lot more towards the construction industry nowadays.
It's tangible. You build it. You can see it, you know? Like when I worked freight, I remember one of the things I'd be the unhappiest about was I was a supervisor on the dock, you know, doing what's referred to as inbound operations. So the freight comes in, you all the stuff comes off the trailers and goes onto the trailers that's going to go out for delivery
Yeah.
as, right? Well, you have the best day ever. I mean, you just killing it, right? Moving 4 or 5 bills an hour, loading the trucks. Trucks are loaded perfectly. Everybody goes out and does deliveries. You come in the next night, there's the same number of trucks around, the same amount of work to be done, the same.
Extremely repetitive.
Yeah, it's just extremely repetitive. Yeah, and so in construction, yes, it's competitive, it's repetitive, but you go down the road and you see something and you're like, hey man, we built that.
Yeah.
You know? Like Moss built that. That's ours. We're building another one down the street, you know, so we're busy, right? It's not like it just stops, but you know, where you build something that you can see and touch, and so many things you don't do that. You know?
Yeah. How would you compare the culture? Let's say, you know, you at the first construction company that you started to where the freight company you were at.
So from the freight company to there,
Yeah.
I don't think that there's really much of a comparison because of the type of work. Like it just, you know, I couldn't compare one to the other. It's complete apples and oranges.
Yeah. What about from there to here?
I got to tell you that I didn't know places like this exist. I'm not just saying this like in this forum, you know, you hear rumors or whatever, but I never saw a guy that was there that was like, oh no, I was there, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, my day started this morning at, 6 in the morning. I hit 5 golf balls with all of my irons on the simulator, lifted a little bit of weight, and then went next door and started my day. You never met a guy that could say, yeah, that's exactly how my day started. Now I am that guy. And by the way, I tell everyone, right? Like guys that I know from different things, when they talk to me, they ask me, probably get sick of hearing about it.
Yeah.
Like, it's so cool here, the way that the people are. I was actually just telling John when walking in here, I can't remember the last time that I had a job or I was in a place where there's not a single person that works here that I see coming down the hall and I'm not like, ooh, let me duck into this office real quick.
Yeah.
You know, like
I mean, that says a
I
lot, no?
genuinely seem to like everybody here. You
Yeah.
know? I mean, that's not my nature. You know, you may not know whether or not I like you, but it's not my nature to just actually like everybody. You know?
Yeah. I mean, that's hard to find at companies in general, right? Whether it's construction or not, to not like hide and duck from people, right?
Yeah.
Of course, you're always going to want to hide and duck when it comes to like paying stuff, right? Naturally, right? So you might hide from Miss Michelle every now and then.
Oh no, I don't hide from her.
You know, hide from her.
I spent that money and I'm proud of it. Let's get them paid.
Hey, I just bought this excavator.
Yep. Well, that call comes a little higher than me, you know.
Yeah.
But on ours is for fleet decisions, it really comes down to like understanding utilization, right? Understanding how much life this unit's got left in it.
Yeah.
right? And making a decision based on those things. If is this is this repair worth it? Is this money that we're spending
Yeah.
worth it? And there's organizations that help you learn that stuff, and then you learn it by experience, right? It's uh, it's a niche, right? And it's hard because sometimes fleet guys try to explain what they do, and it is hard to explain.
Yeah.
So,
Well, let's dive in a little bit more into that. So, fleet operations, how does that impact the field?
well, when machines are down, like the job's down, like especially if it's a critical machine. I mean, that may not be the case every
Yeah.
time, but a critical machine, a big excavator's down or a wheel loader or something like that, they just, they can't work. I guess they could get out shovels,
Yeah.
start digging a hole with shovels, but that's not a good idea. It's going to take a little while, and that's going to be way more, way less cost effective, right? Because hours go through the roof to do something like that. So it comes down to that, and then being able, you would appreciate to do jobs safe.
Hmm.
A bunch of guys in a ditch with shovels is not as safe as a guy above the ditch with the excavator digging it out, right?
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
um,
Absolutely.
yeah, so it's imperative that they have good, solid, well maintained, safe equipment to operate.
Yeah. So do you also oversee a little bit of the I guess you would say like the PM on the all the equipments and
Yeah,
all that?
the preventative maintenance.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we have a specific kind of team that does that. We got
Yeah.
some fuel lube trucks out running around, fueling stuff, doing PMs on them, keeping up with the schedules. We use some third parties for it, and then Mike in there, he kind of coordinates all of it, make sure that we have the right parts, the right guy, right area, and get as much done as we can there. And then obviously, I think I can say a company by name. We're switching over to a fleet management software, Clue, which I say we're switching over. It's active, it's hot right now.
Yeah.
That's going to make this easier to manage. I think the hours and the predictability of it, right? Seeing all of that in one place instead of having to go to 3 or 4 different places to
Find the
find the
answer.
information.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's the fleet. I think oversees a bunch of things, right? Because it also oversees like getting the equipment to the field,
Oh yeah.
right? So how does that look like as well?
So a lot of it goes by the crews here. Like this crew's going to that job, and they've had this excavator and this wheel loader and this. So we'll just move a whole crew from job to job, right? If everything's in
Hmm.
good working condition. Um, this new software we're just talking about has a function where guys can go in and make requests, right? Hey man, we need another, you know, 350 out here, and they can go in there and select that,
Hmm.
and it sends a push notification to myself and Matthew, who, we're gonna find a machine and dispatch a driver and snatch it up, move it over wherever it needs to go.
Yeah, yeah. Because I mean, what would you say a typical fleet on a job site would be like equipment and all? What
Uh,
would that consist of?
think For a crew, it kind of depends on the job
Hmm.
site, right? So for a crew, I believe we've got 2 excavators, a wheel loader, and uh, one pickup. They got a foreman truck. So
Water truck,
and a water truck. Yeah, there's water trucks out there too.
roller.
Roller. Well, it depends on the job. Not every crew's got a roller out there.
Oh, because they also use those
These are
Velcro.
compaction wheels and
Yeah,
the
those
Velcro
Velcro
buckets. Yeah.
buckets. Yeah, yeah. I think that's one of the things that the field can appreciate, right? And having good equipment out
Mhm.
there, right? Because imagine having dinosaurs out there trying to push production and quality all
Yeah.
at the same time. Is
Mhm.
like it's not going to be the same, right? So having a good fleet department to be able to keep up with the crews,
Mhm.
right? And having good equipment is going to be crucial.
Oh yeah, yeah. I think the we buy good units.
Yeah.
We got good units out there in the field, and I think we get rid of machines in a pretty timely manner.
Hmm.
Get them off to auction or remarket them ourselves. But yeah, they've. I think we have pretty good machines.
Yeah.
Oh, and yeah, one of the other things is the machine may not be broke down, but once it gets to a certain amount of hours, the operating cost goes through the roof.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things you're trying to avoid. And it's because of breakdowns, it's because of PMs, it's because even fuel consumption,
Yeah.
it just starts getting really expensive to keep out there.
Yeah, if you could send a message to a wheel load operator, excavator operator, and a foreman, like to explain to them your support to them, what would you tell them?
If I were going to give them advice, I would say do an inspection every day. Inspect your equipment every single morning, right? And maybe inspect it in the evening. It doesn't need to be as thorough as the morning,
Yeah,
right? But check it over in the evening, because if you've got some hydraulic leak that's starting to seep or something like that, it's a lot easier to get that thing fixed in a timely manner than when that hose blows, right?
yeah,
That's a lot easier. To describe our support, fleet can be a very invisible aspect of the industry, right? And if you're operating well, it should be, right? Nobody really thinks about it. They're just out there working. Nobody thinks about it. My name doesn't cross their mind all day. And I hope we get there, right?
yeah,
That means there ain't no work orders open. All the units are out there running just fine. They were filled up before you got to work in the morning.
yeah.
And have a good day.
That just means you're taking care of business.
That just means it's done, right? It's not it's kind of a offensive lineman almost of of the industry. It's not real sexy, but
Yeah.
it's getting knocked out.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the biggest things that we want to like push out on this podcast, right? Is explain to the guys out in the field that like everything that we do at the end of the day, it comes down to them.
Yeah.
It comes down to them, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they don't realize how important they are. Like they are the backbone. Like we can bid all the work in the world,
Yeah.
right? But if we don't have a crew to do it,
Yeah, absolutely.
then we're pointless.
Yeah. Yeah,
Right.
you got to have somebody out there doing
You
the work.
gotta have someone to do it, right? And if there's no crews out there, I have no work,
Mm-hmm.
right? I'm pointless.
Yeah.
Nothing to do here.
Mm-hmm.
So they give value to the company by executing their work, safely with quality and production,
Absolutely. Yeah.
right? And that goes, that goes with every department, right? Because I think that's essentially what you want as well with your fleet team, right? You want them to obviously, in their sense, right, have a form of production,
Mm-hmm.
good quality,
Yeah.
and work safely,
Yes.
right? How many loop truck drivers do we have right now?
Well, that's a tricky question because there's actually 4, but one of them's kind of a small. Well, I think we just pulled the tanks out of that one, so 3 out there running around right now.
3 loop trucks, basically servicing how many pieces of equipment, roughly?
Well,
Let's
I know
just-
there's as of yesterday there was like 119 full size excavators. I want to say it was 10, 12, something like that. Mini excavators, right? There's a ton of wheel loaders out there. Maybe 40, 50, something like that.
Wow.
Oh, the fleet overall, everything that has a unit number saved in the system, as of yesterday, the fleet was 712 pieces.
And that's including, I mean, that's
There's some buckets in there, stuff like that have
Yeah.
unit numbers.
I mean, you can't do nothing without a bucket, so.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, no, the best excavator in the world's no good without a bucket.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, there's some buckets and different things like that are mixed into that number. But
Cool. So how long have you been here at Moss now?
I think my first day was February 2nd.
February 2nd.
Uh-huh.
So a couple months now.
Yeah, a few months.
Couple
yes.
months now. Best decision you ever made?
Oh yeah, I'm very happy.
I think the team overall is very happy to have you here. I think you've seen a big difference in how people approach fleet, right? Because
Yeah.
you can see your intentions with making sure that the guys out in the field have what they need,
Mhm.
right? Because I think I sat in on a meeting the other day, or it wasn't the other day, it was a while back where they're struggling to get a light tower or something,
Yeah.
and you're like, why didn't I know about this? Like, I need to make sure that I have someone ready to get the lights out
Yeah.
out there.
Well, it was an emergency job, which you were talking about, and they came up here to get a light tower, and they didn't know which one to take, right?
Yeah.
And so I can appreciate that they were just trying to execute, but that conversation led to some changes in our standard operating procedure where things are going in a certain area if they're ready to go. But yeah, I was frustrated with that situation, and I think we've come now where it's I don't think we'll have that problem again.
You have a good process in place.
Yeah, we have a process in place. It's got to be tested.
Yeah.
You never know if it's a good process until it gets tested. So
Yeah.
the next time we get an emergency job, and
Well, we
We'll
do.
know
We,
we'll
we
know in our meeting with Julio that we have
yeah.
every week. Hey, that didn't work or that did, and if we got to adjust fire, we will.
Yeah, we do have some night jobs though. Do they are they not requiring those light towers from us or?
Yeah, but there's some light towers out at work right now. So this was a kind of a one-off.
Yeah, because those are
So
obviously planned, right?
yeah, yeah,
So we know that
yeah,
they're gonna
good.
give
Yeah,
us.
they got that's part of the order, and part of what's cool about Clue, right? If you got a job and your crew doesn't normally have light towers, you can get in there and select a light tower, man.
Yeah,
You can jump in there and say, oh, this job I'm going to need a light tower. And now we know to get you a light tower.
yeah. How involved are you with like you mentioned Julio right now? Like how involved are you with him and his like or that department, right? Because it's like Julio, Jose, Christian. Like is it
Yeah, it's all going to go. It all goes through me
all
to
goes to
to,
you?
to, to funnel
Yeah,
to whichever department of the fleet needs to handle it. Yeah,
cool, cool, cool,
whether
cool.
it's Julio or Parker or Christian, I hear from all of them often. Well, I hear from Parker a lot more, but obviously that's my boss. But as far as the other guys I hear from them daily.
Yeah.
Not 2 or 3 times a day.
How's been your interaction? How's your interaction been with them? Good.
Oh yeah, absolutely positive, man. I like those guys. Yeah,
Yeah, they're really good guys.
yeah,
Really good guys.
yeah. I definitely, I'll hang out with them.
We really wanted to go to your wedding, but I mean,
That guest list was set before we made the move over here,
yeah,
brother.
we'll go with that.
Uh huh.
We'll go with that.
Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we would have brought a whole band with us.
Oh
Yeah.
my goodness, that what a good time. That sounds like a good time.
Yeah, I think that's one of the biggest things here is like you build relationships with these guys that it's
Hmm.
like to your point, we
Yeah.
become buddies,
Yeah.
right? Like I don't like personally I don't really have friends like outside of work. I have my family and
Are you asking me to be your friend? I'll be your friend. Right?
I can't
Is that what
golf.
this is? You
I
can't,
can't golf.
but you could drive a cart, right? And
I-
you're a safety man, so you can drive a cart safely, right?
But no, yeah, to the point is just working here is great. I mean,
Hmm.
that's long story short. Working here is great, but nonetheless, I appreciate you coming on today and
Hmm.
giving us a little bit more insight of what your experience has been here at Moss and your ride so far.
Yeah, that's I'm glad to be here. I've enjoyed pretty much everything that I've encountered here.
Yeah.
I mean, we got some work to do, but I think that in the next year, that I think that we could easily have the premier fleet in DFW.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, between the paint schemes, which sounds silly, right? But boy, you see one of them things out there on a job site sitting on the
Yeah.
side of the road, looks good. Even the ones that just got the stick painted.
But speaking of excavators, like that's one thing that I think our most tenured operators are very proud to be in.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
those suckers, they keep those suckers clean.
Oh
Man.
yeah, no, that's their workspace, man. They get very proud of it. They get very
Yeah.
they have extreme preferences,
Oh yeah.
when it comes to them. But it may sound silly if you don't operate. I've never been an equipment operator, right? But I've
Yeah.
run enough excavators on off trailers or
Yeah.
done whatever kind of needed to be
Yeah.
done, and there's like different play in the hydraulics. Might sound silly, right? But it's almost like braking your pickup truck. Like your pickup truck, when you drive down the street,
Mhm.
you know when you got to hit the brake pedal. You know when you hit the accelerator, what's going to
Yeah,
do.
yeah.
Over time, you build into it. It's the same thing with the excavator, right? They know those hydraulics. They can, And I mean, there's guys out there open a beer can with one, right? Just reach out there with that bucket and snap it open, and then and it's because they get so used to the controls, and frankly, that's what you want. You want to take good care of that
Exactly.
guy. You need a guy because that is going to be a safe dude. He knows exactly what goes on with it, right? He knows when there's a problem. Ooh, I didn't like that sound, right?
Yeah.
So and hopefully, right? He's jumping on his app. He's going into Clue and he's reporting that to me. I don't know what that weird sound was, even if it just went away, right? Jump in there. Put it in there and let me get somebody out there to take a look at it. Let's see if we can mimic the issue and get it repaired before, that sound turns constant and you can't run the machine and every dashboard emoji it's got on there,
Yeah. At the end of the day, those are the type of guys that we want and need, right?
Mm-hmm.
Of course, not all of them are going to be like that, right? Operators. But there's a handful of them, right? And you'll see it this year during Christmas, right? When we pick our operators of the year, and because they make a big impact out on the fields, right?
Yeah.
Like you'll know where to send them, right? Like I feel like Julio and his team and Christian and his team and Jose, they make decisions also based on the operator.
Mm-hmm.
Like, hey, this guy can dig 20 plus feet,
Yeah.
right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Or
It's
this guy
absolute.
can dig in
Mm-hmm.
rock,
Yeah.
right? Because you don't want a guy that doesn't know how to dig in rock because
Yeah.
he's just going to tear up those teeth and, it's going to get
You don't say.
crazy
Uh-huh.
expensive.
It
Right.
sure does.
It gets crazy expensive.
Yeah, yeah. It
So,
does.
I mean, to the point of like, we want good operators. We want guys who care and take care of their equipment at the end of the day. Even the wheel loaders, even the
Yeah.
wheel loaders. Those
Oh,
are some big
I got to tell
suckers.
you, we have more problems with wheel loaders than we do anything else.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's yeah, those because they just get kind of ragged out, guys. Not operators necessarily running them wrong or something. Just they're constantly moving, loading this, loading that, pushing
Yeah.
dirt, doing. I mean, they get tore up
Yeah.
pretty good. So we some cost associated with that, and we spend a lot of time repairing and working on them.
Cool. Well, hey, appreciate you coming on today, man.
Yeah. All right. So this was a podcast.
Yeah.
All right.
You
This is
did
what-
great. You did
Uh-huh.
lovely.